Welcome to the Rapid Valve Guide Liner installation video. The following video will demonstrate for you the tools and procedures you're going to need to properly install your valve guide liners. The first step in any valve guide installation is to first identify what head you're working with. For today's sample, we're going to be using a 7mm head. I'm going to first measure the diameter of the valve stems, which will determine which liner I want to use. My intake valve measures at 276, while my exhaust measures at 275. One of the first things you want to determine when you're about to ream out a guide is first that we have a head that has not been used for guide liners before, so we can just go ahead and ream the holes out. The first thing you want to identify is what size seat collars are going to work for you. The Rapid line highly recommends using 60-degree seat collars. It'll pick up the third angle of your valve seat that's not worn. For the intake, I have chosen a 1 3/4 inch 60-degree seat collar, and I'm just looking at it beforehand, making sure that it doesn't hit any of the sidewalls at all, or the side of the cylinder. For the exhaust, I've chosen a 1 1/4 inch. Fits nice, doesn't hit any of the side. Rapid highly recommends using our RF 980 reaming fixture when reaming out the guide. This system will maximize your reamer life. It will also make it a lot easier for you to make a consistent hole. If you buy an RF 980, when you get it, the regulator will be already preset in the factory. However, because some plants have different line pressures, you'll need to set it again because everyone has their own comfort zone. First thing to do is wind this screw back, make sure it's loose, and the rams are in. Connect up your air line. Okay. Now you can take and you want to adjust this screw in until you see your rams come out. Right there. After you do that, you want to give it 2 turns, lock it in. At this time, just check, make sure you got enough pressure. After you've set your pressure, you'll never need to touch that again. That's set up for you. Then you need to take your reamer. Rapid reamers are made specifically so that they'll all work with this gun. And you insert your reaming bushing. When you install this in your 980, you want to make sure that the blades and the reaming bushing aren't locked into the cylinder. We'll demonstrate that in a second. You insert your reamer in through the hole into your chuck. Tighten it down. Now this is where we want to make sure that there's some movement here so the blades don't run into the back of the bushing. Once you got that set, lock it in. Now you can we're going to do the intake valve first, and so we're going to take the seat collar we selected for that, slide it on, lock it in. Now we're ready to go. One of the biggest benefits to using the Rapid RF 980 is when you go to put this reamer into the hole and you get your seat collar locked in, the 60-degree is locked right into the head. Even if your 45-degree seat collar valve seat is worn, your seat collar is still locked in. The blades are not into your workpiece yet. You never want to start your reamer with your blades into the workpiece. As you can see right now, I'm going to start this drill up. It's not working at all. The pilot is into the valve guide, but it's not into the blades that are going to do the cutting. Now that we're ready to ream, there's one more thing you need to remember. This is high, but you want to make sure that you're putting your weight right over top of the center of the RF 980, or if you're using a drill, you want to be right over the center. These reamers are tool steel, but you can still bend them if you're out here leaning on it. So we start it up, we go all the way down through. When we get to the bottom, we simply release the trigger and it'll pull the reamer back up for us. We've stopped the drill, we just want to let it come right back up and through. To make sure that I made a good hole, Rapid provides, we'll sell go no-go gauges. So you insert this into the hole, as long as it goes in to your reamed guide to up to this point, you're good. If it goes past this point on the go no-go gauge, your hole's too big and your liner will not size properly. So I've checked my hole and my hole is good. I'm ready to go. My next step is to select my liner. For this purpose, I have an intake valve here that is 276 on the stem diameter, and I'm going to go with 2 thou of clearance, which means I'm going to use a DS2088, which gives me a finished ID, minimum finished ID of 278.